for a committee of the whole meeting. That is always stated. If we start that practice, then anytime we suspend, they must follow with a reason for the suspension. And when I'm even under pressure and I suspend, then it has to be stated. That I don't think will be a very good practice. I think if it happened last week, then table office, you have to relook at it. We suspend, we don't state the reason for the suspension. There are many reasons why we suspend. And some may not be necessary for the knowledge of even members or the public. So I think we should leave it as it is, sitting suspended at 2:52 p.m. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I agree with the provided clues, except that the member really was calling for consistency. I don't really recall the incident that he's referring to, the date. So I guess we can leave that to the table officers and reconcile the position so that it doesn't appear that we are resorting to different processes and procedures. On one day and another day, we are resorting to another process and procedures. So let's leave it to the table officers to do the reconciliation.
We have a problem. The front bench of the majority have a problem with their mic. So sometimes I struggle to hear what particularly the majority leader says. And I see he also struggles to hear what I say. I have called on the technical people to work on it, but it looks like there's still no improvement. He almost repeated exactly what I said, and I've really directed the table office to look at it, whether the issue of consistency they raised, it happened. But I don't recollect, like the majority leader also says, he doesn't recollect that. So cross-check on that and let's get what is right. But the right position is that the reasons for suspension should not be stated. Honorable members, page 12. Let's listen to a different voice now before Honorable Blackwell. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, item 1 of page 12, the last of item 1, where it said that of the ECOWAS identification card registration, into bracket, Ghana card. I don't know if there is anything called Ghana card. Even the card that we use that has been given to us is ECOWAS identification card and not Ghana card. I don't know where we've captured it. We are always capturing Ghana card. Even when the Electoral Commissioner came yesterday, in her report she stated Ghana card. Is a card Ghana card or national identification card, or ECOWAS card? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, right, Mr. Speaker, I very much appreciate the concern raised by Honorable Bejra, except to add that the Ghana card terminology has become quite a popular refrain. That has become the other name for the officially is the ECOWAS identification card, but on the streets in our constituencies, everybody, popularly refers to it as a Ghana card. So I think that once it has been put in brackets after the actual name, the official name, I think we can let it pass, just for clarity that we are referring to the Ghana card. I do not think that it really hurts. Once the ECOWAS identification card has been properly captured, I think we can let it pass if Honorable Bejura doesn't mind.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. If you look at the same page, paragraph 1, 3 ministries were invited. In other words, 3 bodies were invited: the Electoral Commission, NIA, and the Finance Ministry.
Boss.
Paragraph 2 captures the attendees well, but in paragraph 1, the Minister of Finance is surprisingly missing. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to differ from what my colleague Honorable Okujeto said. This is a house of records, and I'm sure whatever we do must appropriately capture any official titles accorded. Is we must not, for the sake of popular. We have popular misconception. Something that is popular is not necessarily true or right. I think there's a distinction between that. Mr. Speaker, I say this conscious of the fact that legal issues have cropped up sometimes along the line. I used to remember some years ago we had a cigarette called 555, but the popular name was 55. The matter went to court in respect of that matter, and the one who was dealing with 55 lost because the real name was 555. So, Mr. Speaker, I think the name should be captured appropriately as it has been labeled, so that we don't have any offense of dealing with it in there. Mr. Speaker, it's better for me to prevent you from holding my hand than for me to use my strength to wrench myself free. I think that if it's possible to do what is proper before we are taken to task on it, it's better for us. Thank you.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Speaker, the that your bears the inscription ECOWAS passports, but it is referred to as the Ghana passport. In this particular case, the law recognizes it. The terminology Ghana card. If you look at the instrument, section 1 of LI 2111, it's captured there. That is to be known as Ghana card. Ghana card in brackets. So if it is done that way and is captured in brackets, it is the same thing. The law so recognizes it. It's not just the terminology in the streets. The law recognizes it.
Yes, Prof.
Honourable Speaker, thanks for the clarity being brought to the matter by our revered leader. I also want to find out from you if the CI is 2023 or 2022. Thank you. Because it is captured here on the third line, the National Identification Authority on the Draft Public Elections, into brackets, registration of voters population 2023. I thought that we've been dealing with this since last year. So I don't know whether it is 2022 or 2023. Thank you.
Actually, you haven't seen the draft yet. They have it. I haven't seen it. I got in which was alleged to be copies of the drafts. I didn't open it. It was referred to the clerk's office to reply to the Electoral Commission. So I don't know whether the year written there is 2022 or 2023. I think the table office is in a better position to clarify this, whether it's 2022 or 2023. Yes, please.
The Speaker, as you do know, there was an attempt to introduce it in the House last year. So it bears 2022. However, as we do know of constitutional instruments and of all regulations, the date will come after the date of Gazette. And the date of Gazette is what then will carry. ultimately. So that is what it is. So for now, the draft before us is 2022. And to the extent that it may be approved in 2023, thereafter, when it is introduced in the House, as the Constitution provides, the Speaker, with respect, Articles 11(7), that any other rule or regulation made by a person or authority under a power conferred by this Constitution or any other law shall, and C says, come into force at the expiration of 31 sitting days, but have been so late unless Parliament, sorry, I should have read the, it shall be laid before Parliament, be published in the Gazette on the day it is laid before Parliament. So when it is late, that date then would describe the instrument. But for now, what we have is the draft, which is
Yes.
Right, Honourable Speaker, please, I also want to add that the report of the Special Budget Committee, a copy of which I have here, which is the basis which recommended that we should have a committee of the whole further pre-laying deliberations to invite the relevant institutions, NIA, the Electoral Commission, and then the Finance Minister in their recommendations. Mr. Speaker, that report, which formed the basis for the further engagement we have been having, refers to the draft CI as the constitutional instrument, public election, registration of voters regulations